Well, salutations to the kindred spirits. Here, let me do this right. Greetings. Hey, all, salutations. Welcome to another online card magic learning experience, and this one done with just 4 playing cards. Woo! If you know. 4 cards. I have a notion that when Alex Elmsley introduced this 4 card trick back in 1959, he changed the face of card magic. Now, 4 jokers can be kind of hard to follow. Let me change the face of one of these jokers into a lady, giving you something to track as we go into a 4-card Monte situation. So I'll ask you to follow that queen as I reverse count the cards from one hand to another. Where would you guess she lies? Some would say here, some would say here. Almost no one guesses the face of the packet, so that's where I keep her to start the ruse. Once I have your attention, I endeavor to do the scam with the queen reversed. So face up in a face down packet, and we'll leave her resting 3rd from the top. And let me explain clearly here. 3rd from the top. That's 1, 2, 3. There, that queen is face up. If I were to ask you to bet now, certainly you'd be happy to take that wager, and I'd be happy to take your money if you were to place that bet, for that lady has vanished completely like a will-o'-the-wisp. That is until I need my shill to win a bet to entice the rubes back, and then she makes her reappearance. Can be a lot to watch. All these cards, I talk a lot, maybe this. I'll tell you what I'll do. Next time I show you the trick, I'll do it where the queen has an odd back. Yeah, where she's marked on the back. That makes it a little bit easier to follow. Was there any questions? All right, well, if your question is, how do you do that? Well, you're in luck. That's our lesson for today. What you have just seen is a trick from the genius Alex Elmsley. This is a great book, The Collected Works of Alex Elmsley, Volume 1. There's 2 volumes to this set by Stephen Minch. This is the best resource. Let me be clear. You want to learn the Elmsley count? Go read this book, and then read all the other genius material from this wonderful creator. And I can't sing the praises of Alex Elmsley enough. He is one of my favorite creators. This 4-card trick that he introduced, the ghost count, or what's commonly known as the Elmsley count, which conceals 1 card of a 4-card packet as they're being counted from hand to hand. Here you are seeing it in action right now. This is the Elmsley count, and it's this count that really opens so many avenues for card magic, really for the last 6 decades. There's just been a wave of Elmsley count magic. Let me show you this count. I'm also going to show you some related material. Let's talk a little bit about the history, as Stephen Minch so clearly delves into in the book. Elmsley was inspired by Eric de la Mare, who had, I think, a version of Edward Victor's I count, but all of these are predated by Charles Jordan, and we're actually going to start our counting learning experience with the Jordan count, which is nothing to do with this trick, but you'll see why I'm teaching it to you in just a moment, and it is a very valuable count. So the Jordan count in this position will conceal the card, in this case, on the face of the packet as I count the cards from hand to hand. Now, an Elmsley count will conceal the card 3rd from the top. So it's not at the face, it's 3rd from the top. And then after I do an Elmsley count, I'm going to be in a Jordan count position to conceal the card at the face of the packet. And these 2 moves flow well from one to another, and I'm going to suggest that you practice them in this fashion, and then you'll get a 2 for 1 as we have this learning experience today. So let's get started with the Jordan count, concealing the card at the face of a 4-card packet, as originally published in Charles Jordan's 30 Card Mysteries. This goes back to the early 1900s. We begin by peeling the top card into the hand off the top of the packet. Here's a tip that Minch gives and that Elmsley gave when he described this move. We're going to have the packet pinched at the right side. So I got my fingertips below, thumb on top, about 2/3 of the way up the packet. The important step is pulling the top card off. This can be a troublesome spot for some students in disrupting the packet and exposing unwanted cards as you pull the initial initial card off the top of the packet. Here's how you keep all this clean. You use the forefinger of the receiving hand. So in this case, my left hand is going to come in from like a dealing position. The forefinger is going to act as a break at the top of this packet, and then my thumb is going to move the card slightly, in this case to the left. So it's kind of diagonal to the left. This will ensure only one card gets broken off the packet and that you don't smear a bunch of cards and expose that odd back or face up card in the packet. So details are the path, and that's a detail that's an important one. So approach, break, thumb, pulls, and then a little pressure right here at the thumb and the base of the finger allows you to pull that top card singly. Now the Jordan count continues, same thing. We're going to go back and count the second card in a similar fashion, going back to the packet, pivoting off the front. If you want to use that forefinger as a break, that's helpful as well. Counting the second card. So that's our first two counts. 1, 2. The secret action happens on the third count. As this hand comes back to take apparently the third card, the first two cards are going to get replaced back onto the face of the packet. So we're just going to put those back to the bottom. The fingers will open and pinch briefly to accommodate this. From there, the thumb and the fingers execute a block push-off of the top three cards. This is going to be everything above the bottom card. So we're here, and then the block push-off occurs, the thumb just smearing the top three cards to the right, and the thumb and the forefinger clamping to count that card, the block of 3, with the odd back one in the middle, as our third card. And then the fourth card is that last card that gets counted singly. So this is our action of the Jordan count. It's the card that's at the face of the pack. The first card is honest. The second card is honest. On the third count, these two go back to the face and are pinched, and then the thumb block push-offs the top three cards, and then the receiving hand peels that block as the third card supposedly, and then the fourth card. Now, the Jordan count is more challenging than the Elmsley count. So if you can get through the Jordan count, congratulations, you've done the hard part of your practice for today. Now, the Elmsley count is this, with the card third from the top, and we can even turn it face up for this demonstration, and it will look like we just count 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Here's the details. All right, so the Elmsley count begins with the same grip, pinch with the fingers below, the thumb on top about 2/3 the way up, and the initial card is taken as in the Jordan count, just a regular peel. We can use our finger to break and pivot to get a clean pull. That's the first count. The second count happens after a block push-off of the right thumb, everything above the bottom card. It's a 2-card block push-off. Sometimes the Elmsley count uses more than 4 cards, and you can execute this count with 6, 9 cards, 5 cards. But in this case, we're just going to push over these two. Just pinch, push from here. That's the block push-off. And then as this double gets counted into the left hand, the left hand's card will be replaced at the face of the packet, just like we did with the Jordan count. So as I come to count, this goes to the face of the packet, these fingers pinch, and then the thumb pulls, and again, I'm using this base of the forefinger to maintain my grip, and it pulls the top two from that block push-off. The remaining action is just 2 simple single counts, so 3 and 4, and that's the Elmsley count. It puts us in position for the Jordan count. So if we want to practice this, we now do our Jordan count. Pinching the packet, pulling the top 1, pulling a second single, replacing the 2, executing that block push-off of the top 3, and then replacing the fourth card. That's the Jordan count. Now in position for the Elmsley count, and just once more, pinching at the edges, pivoting the top card. That's 1. Block push-off. As we count the block, we replace this card from below. I'll give you an over-the-shoulder view on this count too, and that's 3, and that's 4. Let's go over here to this camera and see if this helps y'all. This is the Jordan count with that queen face up at the bottom of the packet. We have the packet gripped, the pinch, pivot that top card singly, the second card. These are replaced below as that block push-off is executed, then the last card is dropped. That places in Elmsley count position, and here's over the shoulder Elmsley. Pinch grip, pivot, the first one, block, push off the 2 here. This card gets replaced below as we pull this one, and then 3 and 4. That is how you do the Elmsley count and the Jordan count, and we can practice those two ad infinitum all day long. Heed the details. Here's the scoop on the 4-card trick. Our 3rd card from the top is that odd-backed Queen of Hearts. The packet starts face down as we display 4 cards to introduce the notion of a 4-card Monte. Take the top 2 cards and gesture with them and move them to the face of the packet. This will set you up for an Elmsley count. That displacement is needed so that now we can show 4 jokers, and this is done with an Elmsley count. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and everything looks as it should be. Commenting that maybe 4 jokers can be a little hard to follow, we'll change one of them into a queen. Now I just execute a regular count, and then effect number 1 happens, an appearance of the lady. Place this lady 3rd from the top of the packet, turn everything face down as you challenge your audience to follow the queen during a reverse count, Elmsley count. So don't really reverse count, we Elmsley count. That's going to secretly displace the queen to the face. So it really should be here or here, but it's now at the face of the packet, and that's our first surprise in this presumed 3-card Monte exhibition. Now we're going to execute a double turnover from the face of the packet over here. I'll tell you a great way to do a double off the face after the first phase. Just kind of show them like this, and then as you close the packet, secretly in-jog that joker 2nd from the face, and as you square, now we have a break below the 2nd card, and this is going to allow us to do a double turnover of that queen. So we've apparently showed the back, but we turned over 2 as 1 secretly. Now moving into the next phase is this. We do another displacement. As we explain to our audience, I'll place the queen 3rd from the top. So turn the packet face down and peel the top card to the bottom. That's your displacement. And now Elmsley count. And this is as you explain to your audience. Here's the Elmsley count. You explain to your audience the queen is 3rd from the top. What's actually happening is there's a joker face up below that that's remained hidden. So now we're able to execute this wonderful transformation of the face up queen. So there she is, do your betting presentation, and now when you Elmsley count, that queen transforms. So now we have a transformation, the cards have moved, there's a production, there's so much happening with this Elmsley count trick. From here, this card goes to the bottom, and now you can execute another Elmsley count to show the queen does not exist. And then when you're ready for her to make her appearance in the finale, I like to do another Elmsley count here. It's a displacement as well, which makes her appear 3rd from the top. Then you build your drama and suggest maybe next time you show this demonstration, you'll do so with a queen that has an odd back. Ça va? C'est bon? Oui, oui. Wow, what a trick. And I gotta thank a few guys, I guess. Eric de la Mare, which led to the discovery of Alex Elmsley's ghost count, and Charles Jordan was first to the plate with the Jordan count. You'll find uses for all of these counts moving on in your card magic journey, and I hope that maybe this lesson today was a good place for you to get started on that path. And if you learn nothing more than that 4-card trick from the genius Alex Elmsley, well, hey, you've learned enough. That trick will serve you well for the rest of your life, and I think that's all I have to say about that. One more thing, thanks for spending some time with me. I'll see you on the next one. Ciao for now.